Americans, 34 years ago, it was my honor and privilege to lead American soldiers to victory in battle, to witness the courage and valor of American soldiers at a time and a place when death was all around us. Fortunately, we sustained very few casualties. However, in the years that followed, I watched many of the soldiers I served with pass on, not on foreign battlefields, but on American soil, frequently forgotten by the nation they served. In one case, a major who served with me as a lieutenant in 1993 committed suicide. The memories of the friends he lost in Iraq during a pointless, self-defeating occupation after 2003 were more than he could bear. Yet who today remembers the Iraq War that began in 2003, or that the American military intervention was justified on the utterly false grounds that WMD, that is, weapons of mass destruction, were being built inside Iraq? The conflict took the lives of nearly 4,500 Americans in uniform, not including contractors, of course, and cost $2 trillion. At least 800,000 Iraqi citizens were internally displaced, and several 100,000 Iraqi citizens lost their lives. Tonight, I break my silence, not just for the young officer that committed suicide, but for the wives, husbands, children, and parents who endured the crushing grief of loss, who received a folded flag, and were left alone to trace the name of a loved one on a cold gravestone. War is a predator. It consumes our best, our strength, and our resources, but its most terrible damage is often unseen. War also forces Americans to embrace brutality, to justify barbarism, to become something harder, colder, less humane. President Trump promised to stop the endless wars. Now he really needs to do it. Americans currently stand at what Lincoln would call the fiery trial through which we pass: war with Iran or peace for America. The choice will echo through generations. We're very fortunate. The Iranians are willing to talk to us again, and perhaps we can reach a solution. But there are no guarantees. That will take leadership from the highest levels from President Trump. Let me speak plainly about what awaits if Washington chooses war with Iran. Within hours of the first strike, Iran will seal the Strait of Hormuz, choking the artery through which 1/5 of the world's oil flows. Gas prices will not merely rise, they may erupt like a volcano, burning through family budgets. The economic security Americans built with their own hands since the pandemic disaster could be wrecked. Immediate price increases and loss of supplies could also result. Yet the cost in treasure stands as nothing before the cost in blood. Iran is not the Iraq of our past wars. Iran consists of 85 million people, fortified by mountains when the Roman Empire was young, defended by modern weapons, and effectively allied with nuclear-armed powers, Russia and China, that have drawn clear and unambiguous red lines. For the first time since missiles stood in Cuba, we face not only the shadow, but the real substance of nuclear confrontation. Not for our country, but for the regional ambitions of a foreign state 7,000 miles from home. We must face the truth that weaker allies often attempt to make their wars our wars. While we assist allies, America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines should not be sacrificed for territorial expansions that serve no vital American strategic interest. I did not witness war through the PowerPoint slides or sanitized screens in situation rooms, but through bloody fog of war. I tell you with the full authority of my battlefield experience, this war, if it comes, with Iran, is not necessary. This war is also not just. This war is not worthy of America. We must not sacrifice American lives on foreign soil while American soil thirsts for our attention. We must not trade American prosperity for another state's regional hegemony while American prosperity deteriorates. We must not abandon America's democratic principles for imperial ambition, while those principles, our best hope for justice, fade for lack of devotion. The true strength of America has never been measured by regimes toppled, but by lives improved. While we secure the borders of other people's states, our communities crumble. While we send billions abroad, Americans must choose between medicine or food. This is not America first. This is America last. Imagine instead what we might create at home with the trillions this war will cost. Hospitals in rural areas where mothers drive hours to deliver. High-speed rail connecting our cities like steel arteries pulsing with the lifeblood of commerce. Clean energy systems harnessing the same sun that warmed Washington at Valley Forge. Schools where every child, from Appalachia to the inner city, receives education worthy of our republic. The Constitution placed the power to decide for peace or war in your hands. Between now and midnight, you should contact your representatives and senators with one message. No war with Iran. Put America first. Make their phones ring until they cannot ignore the righteous thunder of a republic reclaiming its constitutional inheritance. Washington can choose diplomacy over war in its pursuit of a solution. There are many approaches that have yet to be considered. As Lincoln reminded us, ours is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Let us be the American generation that broke the chain of endless, pointless war, that faced the fierce urgency of peace with the same resolve with which we face the necessity of war. Let us choose the courage of peace over the delusion of unnecessary conflict. Let us choose the wisdom of restraint over the recklessness of pride. Wars occur when vanity and self-delusion lead to the wrong choice. And if we make the right choice, generations of Americans yet to be born will look back and say, here stood Americans who remembered their oath, who honored their Constitution, who chose the Republic over the Empire, and who, in doing so, saved the last best hope on earth. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.